Let me pull you down, JT. Sorry about that. All right. Self-imposed technical difficulties at the top. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. I am James Oliver Jr., managing partner of Kabila Ventures, a new venture firm coming soon. Super excited about that. CEO of Kabila, which connects Overlook founders to capital, co-founders and community. And I'm co-founder of the world's cutest twins. So I see y'all getting on it. Jelani, Gabby, tell us where you're coming from in the comments, please. Also, please share this on whatever social media platform you're watching. I think we're streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, uh, and I think Facebook. Yeah, we're streaming a bunch of places. Drop in the comments. Tell us where you're coming in from. What's going on, Courtney? You got the comments coming in. Jelani, Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Right. What's going on, y'all? So look, we all know the data around Black founders and VC funding at 0.43% of VC dollars last year. That's like crumbs, right? So, and we all know it sometimes takes friends and family to invest for the first round of capital to get a startup off the ground. And we all know that Black founders writ large simply don't have friends and family and with the resources to make that important investment. So that's the problem. And today we're going to have a conversation about the solution. And we're going to be speaking with Joshua Taylor, director of Fifth Stars Funds. Welcome, JT. Where'd you go, my dude? He was just there a second ago. There you go. What's going on, man? Welcome, Joshua Taylor. How are you, man? You're on mute. I got your mic unmuted there. You got to unmute your mic, buddy.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. What's going on, man? Yep, hear you fine.
Man, I'm great. Sunny skies here in Houston, Texas. I'm super excited to be on your show today. So excited to get active, man.
Yes, man. Look at all these comments coming in. Nyla, greetings. Hey, Nyla. Jelani's in the DMV, Columbia, Maryland. Nyla's in ATL. Kendall's coming in from Phoenix. Rosin's coming in from, I'm not sure. Let's see, Fort Worth, Texas. Victoria. What's up, Omari? Coming in from Atlanta, ATL. Inside Connecting the House of Atlanta. I mean, we could keep this going all day, right? Like this Atlanta, it's all over the place. It's amazing. Yeah. Memphis, right? Atlanta,
got that reach.
Manhattan.
Got that reach, man.
Yes, sir. Columbia, Houston. That's what's up. What's up, everybody? This is so good. This is lit. Yo, all right. So keep the comments coming in. St. Louis in the house. Please share this on whatever platform you're watching, right? We want to invite more people into this conversation. It's an important conversation. LA in the building. Keep the comments coming in. All right. So we're going to try to keep this interactive. I have questions for JT, Joshua Taylor, and we'll ask you questions. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. Just drop them in the chat. So, JT, like, what is this $25,000 that Fifth Star Funds is doing? Is it a grant? Is it an investment? What is going on? What are y'all doing?
Yeah, so Fifth Star Funds, right? We're striving to be your rich uncle and auntie to give you and your friends and family around. It is an investment. Off a safe note, $25,000 checks. $4 million cap. We can stretch the valuation on the cap.
You say $4 million cap, you said?
Yeah, $4 million cap. So we're investing super early, MVP stage.
And you willing to go higher on the $4 million cap on a MVP friends and family? That's amazing.
Yeah, so we can stretch it. It could go like up to 6. But yeah, we're super early. Over 60% of our companies are first check in.
Wow.
Yeah, we understand the problem. I was a former founder and had the same problem of, hey, friends and family, I need to get my company off the ground and crumbs. And so definitely want to bridge that gap within the wealth gap for the community.
Amazing. I think that's so cool, the terms on a safe note, because if you're first check in super early, I was expecting it to be more like, in the $2 to $3 million range on a cap on a safe like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. So folks, if you have questions, who's this? Joseph, what's up, baby? I know who you are, man. Oh, JT, he said he met you in Black and Tech in Houston. Joseph Hamilton, he's in Atlanta.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yes. Okay. So when is the next round of applications and what's the status of all that?
Yes, great question. So we're actually making 3 investments right now for the fall. So in the spring, so I'm fundraising just like you all, raising capital to get you all, invest in you all. So I'm raising $500,000 right now. We're about halfway through with that, so we can invest in 12 companies in the spring of 2025. So next applications will open in this first spring 2025. So that's Q2.
Okay, so we'll have to
Yeah,
have you come back for that.
yeah, I'm down.
Okay, cool. So here's a question. So I got a bunch of questions, but I'd rather ask their questions. This was a question I had though. Must the companies be located headquartered in Chicago or Houston?
Good question. So yes, right now that is the case. I've been a part of Fifth Star for 5 months. This is month 5. I was in New York. I was in Atlanta for Venture Atlanta. That's where we met, James. And
That's
then
right.
I was in LA for LA Tech Week, and I just see the talent of all of you founders on and off this call, man. I'm just like, this is a national problem of this wealth gap. We have to be investing nationally. I understand we were wanting to regionally roll out so we could have focuses in different regions. All of our 26 investments are based in Chicago. That's where the dream started, but the dream is national. And so the goal is to invest across the country next year. That's the goal.
So I'm glad this is the first question from the audience because what you just said, right? And the other thing is, it's about relationships. So I posted a couple weeks ago. I'm super active on LinkedIn. I've been exclusively posting on LinkedIn here the last year, and it's just been amazing.
I saw your analytics. Congrats.
Yeah, man, it's just incredible, right? Like my engagement's up 1,900% year over year, and all of it is like off the charts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But so I posted a while ago. So John Hill, who was the former chief evangelist for Techstars and the former chief evangelist for LinkedIn, he had a conversation with me, and he was talking about how to use LinkedIn to turbocharge your fundraising. So like, go follow me. I think that's pinned in my featured section. Like, go watch that. But he talks about, instead of trying to raise capital, founders should be trying to raise relationships, right? And so I knew that, it was Chicago and Houston, and I knew we're going to have people from all over the country on this call, but you already recognize what the problem is. And at the end of the day, if you're listening to this call, you need to connect with Joshua. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here, and they can connect with you right here on LinkedIn, right? And the reason you need to do that is because he needs to get to know you, right? Because Joshua is out in these streets all the time. I see him everywhere doing things on social media. He's connected to a lot of investors. We connected to a lot of the same people. I saw that. And even if he can't help you right now with what he's doing today, he might be able to connect you to somebody else who can. So like, they'll be like, oh, this is bad. And like he said, like, he's super hustling. He's going to raise more money. So to the extent that he knows you, if you add him to your investor updates, you follow him, you engage with his content, when he's ready to roll out the national fund, because I have no doubt he's going to raise the $500,000, right? And then when he's done with that, he's going to go back and probably raise a $5 million fund and roll that out nationally and start writing checks when he gets to the first close, right? So get to know him now. And it's about relationships. Your thoughts, sir?
100%. This is it's hard to scale in venture, right? Like it's not just who you know, it's who you trust. And it's very much a qualitative business early stage because you have no data. So if I love investor updates as well. Like, I love checking those up on those, and I respond to founders sometimes as well. And so I love seeing the progress because trust is built over time as well. And so I think it even bites down on the warm intro vibe. Like, warm intros are great, but if I met you off the strength of you reaching out and you're hungry, and then you keep on updating me, then it's like, I get to see the story. I get to see the story unfold. And so I totally agree with all what you said. And I do know a lot of people and getting to know more. I was just on with a GP out of LA. He just raised Fund 4 and is looking for high quality people, and so high quality founders. And so I'm always looking to help, even if it doesn't benefit me. And it's a long game. That's what I wanted to say. It's a long game.
It is. And investors invest in lines, not dots. So like he just said, if you meet him here, you put him on the updates, I mean, I talked about this. I did a conversation. I don't like somebody said they're running to running to go look at my LinkedIn post. Yes, go look at my featured post. We did an event with Techstars CEO. I mean, I'm wearing my Techstars swag because I'm a Techstars founder as well. We did an event with Techstars CEO David Cohen. Had 3 founders do elevator pitches. He gave them real-time feedback. But on the back of that, so go watch that. Learn how to do a 60-second pitch. Go watch that. And then at the end of that, we started talking about importance of social capital and how to move and all these things and how to. One of the things that David and I were saying is, it's about how can I quickly accelerate trust. Right? How can I quickly accelerate trust? And like he said, do you do what you say you're going to do? The biggest thing is, do you execute? Right? So connect with him and add him to your updates and stay in touch with him. All right. So let's say we got another question here. I don't want to get in my soapbox. So Brooklyn, I believe Brooklyn's in Atlanta. Thanks for the point of raising relationships. That is currently one of my strategies going to prepare for a successful round. My second question is, how soon would it be too soon to invite someone to participate in a fundraising round? Your thoughts, Joshua?
How soon is too soon? If you're not prepared on what you're going to do with the money, you don't know why you're raising. I think that's number one thing when you're financing in any debt or equity financing. It's why you need this money, and then the proof to why you need the money. That's what your deck should show in the story of, hey, I built this XYZ company to solve this problem. This is why not only that we create this solution, but why our solution is better than the market. This is what we're already validating through our customers and our ICP, right? Our initial customer profile, right? We need this capital to do XYZ to accomplish XYZ. And so I think it's never too early to get someone in the conversation, but it's to build a relationship, not to say, oh, I need money, right?
Yeah.
Say, hey, this is my journey that I'm going on, and this is my mission. I would love to get your feedback, right? I would love to understand more. I would love to learn from you and ask for advice.
Bro.
And say it's more than just transactional. It's an experience. It's a relationship
1000%.
that I'm bringing you on than just saying because then if it's just transactional, it's all right, I don't have any vested interest in this person personally, because you're going to build that trust, and that trust is baked into the emotions that someone wants.
So this is 1000%, JT. I think if you go back and watch the video I was telling you about with David, you said a couple really important things right there. One is you cannot, if the first time you meet an investor, you ask them for a check, you failed. Period. That might be like news to people listening to this, but you failed. Right. And second of all, in that video, we talked about giving you some tips for how to accelerate trust building. I talked about how when I was revising my business model and I was redoing the deck and everything, I invited some angels in. And I also it's another thing pinned to my profile, I think, about how to go find founder angels who are or were founders. Why do you want to do that? Because angels who are founders move with 3 things: speed, conviction, and empathy. And go ask them, would they be willing to take a look at your deck as you're working on it to help shape it? What does that accomplish for you? That helps you build trust faster. They get to see how well do you take feedback. Because I don't think anybody, JT, do you want to work with anybody that doesn't take feedback well? I'm guessing not.
It's all feedback. It's always, no matter if you're at the friends and family or you're at the Series B, you're always getting feedback. It's just knowing what to take in and what not to take in.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Life's about iterating off feedback.
Yeah. And the other thing that you said I think is important. What are you raising the money for? One other mistake I see early stage founders make is the typical answer is, I'm raising money for 18 months runway. No, that is not the right answer. The right answer is, I'm raising money to accomplish X milestones in Y time frame. Right. And so you 100%. Talked about, JT, about how are you going to do that? Well, that's when you got to go into your financial model and do a bottoms up thing. And it's not that the financial model needs to be perfect, but if an investor asks to see it, it goes to how do you think strategically? You agree or not?
Yeah, for sure. It's it's a forecasting model. And so it's, worst base and best case, you know, not just to projection, but like you said, what is your thinking process about the business,
Mm-hmm.
um, about the X's and O's of your operating model. And so you're really trying to disclose quantifiably what you're trying to build. And then it's going to be off, but the closer you could define your burn rate, your unit economics, like the better off you'll be. I mean, I have to do it even in, as a firm, really understand what our model looks like from a fundraising perspective and how we could stay sustainable. So the same way a founder has to do it on the business side, we have to do it as well on the fundraising and how we
Yep.
run our business.
100%. So I saw you. I watched your interview, or listened to your conversation with Daryl Frater. Daryl's a good friend. I was just with him in Tulsa. Well, you were in Tulsa, right? Were you in Tulsa for Black Venture Summit?
Unfortunately, I was
No,
not.
you weren't.
But 2025, we'll make it happen.
So I'm friends with Daryl. I've been friends with him for a while, but I saw your conversation, and so you are the sole decision maker. I know people probably think of who makes the decisions. That's Joshua. So again, you need to get to know him. Who should apply?
Who should apply? Anyone that has a big idea that's venture backable. We're software focused. We're actually investing in our first tech enabled product, but like I said, it has to be venture backable. I would say we are more comfortable with software agnostic companies. We do focus on Black founders. And we're going to invest all across the country next year. That's the goal. And so, I know there's people from all over on this call. So yeah, reach out to me. Definitely apply. We'll reach out and follow up. We are fundraising right now.
Yeah.
Social impact. Hey, Renee, what up? I know you. I would say social impact that could generate a lot of revenue. I think there's a fine line between social and then just a business that is solving someone's problem, whether that's a business or a consumer that can have social impact. So I would say we're not investing in non-for-profits.
Right. What do you mean when you say venture backable?
Yes. So really companies that have addressable markets and obtainable markets of $1 billion or more. And so
$1 billion? Okay.
Yeah. So when a company that's tackling big problems, right? Like that's very high level, but I think whether it's a business or a consumer, there's lots of people that need to solve this. This isn't a $10 to $50 million business. This is like $100 million revenue potential businesses. Whether they're 6 times or 10 times multiple, these could be $1 billion valued companies because we're going after the venture. That's a whole other conversation of what types of problems Black founders should be facing, underrepresented founders should be facing. I think it should be all types, whether it's small or large, and that's another conversation. But we're going after venture scale here. We're trying to prove out that Black founders can do this. They just need the capital at the earliest of stages when no one believes, when barely any data. All you have is some customer validation, kind of an MVP, in a market that's exciting, and you're exceptional and interesting.
Amazing. I got a hard stop at 8 minutes. So I want to try to get to some of these questions. How can people submit a great application?
Great application. Have your story straight, and what that means. What that means is,
duh, right?
Yeah. What that means is, okay, clearly define the one problem you're trying to solve, right? For a customer set that you have gone out and talked to and gotten data from that's quantifiable and qual as well, and really attempt to, because this is the hard part, verify that your solution actually is better than what's on the market today. There's tons of solutions if you have a market. Maybe some of you in markets that are like construction tech or prop tech, that's very much like niche, but it's big, and a lot of people don't have the domain expertise. So I would go back and say, is this a true problem? How big is it? Have you verified that this is a problem with the customer validation? And then why you? Why you? Because you may not have a team yet, but we need to trust that you're the one that's crazy enough to go after this for 10 years.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because my next question is, will you invest in solo founders, or do they have to have a team?
Not opposed to a solo founder. I think I want to be compelled that this person has the grit and the vision to build a team around them.
Wow. Yeah, even at the early stages. I mean, I guess that's a proxy for how influential can you be to sell the dream, because you're going to have to sell to customers. You're going to have to sell to investors if you're chasing investors. And if you can't sell somebody to come join your team, you feel like that's a proxy for an inability to sell, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I mean, you're the spokesperson, right? Your constituency, right? Whether it's internally or externally, you have to bring people on board, and it's founders who stay in the company long term that get the greatest returns for everybody. So it's like you have to be that person to take it the distance, and it convinced me as an investor. I want to be excited to say, dang, to be as objective as possible in the rubric and the scoring, but to also be like, dang, like I would work for this person. I would work with them. Like I would leave Fifth Star to go work with them. That's how much I like this company.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to a question that Brooklyn asked here. So I'm currently looking to launch my friend and family round Q1, but fear I don't have enough reach for it to be successful. Any advice or tips? I think that's why you guys spun this. Yeah, good question. Drop that in the comments, Brooklyn. But I think that's why you started this, right? Because you know that most Black founders don't have friends and family to help them close a friends and family fund.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So for OnSide, $25K is not $500,000, but like it gets you to your MVP stage. And with our advisory council we've been building out, with our connections, and with our support, right? We're just another person to help you move out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 90% of it's on you. All of it's on you, but say that 90% is on you to build and scrappy and all these things.
Yeah.
But hey, we want to be that 10% that pushes you forward, right? Helps 100%. You get into a customer introduction or another investors to give you feedback or get into your round or, have someone be a part of the vision.
Love that. So if they go to Fifth Star Funds, is there a place on the website where they could sign up for a newsletter?
Yes, they can go to fifthstar.com, and under the, I should know this, under the subscribe, there's like one of the buttons you should just press down, and it should be subscribe to my newsletter.
Okay. So get on the newsletter, because you're saying, in the spring, I think you said, is when the next round of checks will be written.
Q2 2025 is the goal.
Okay. So this is an opportunity. So I bring in JT here early because, like we said, it's important to establish relationships, right? If applications are closing next week, it's probably not as good, because he's been making the rounds and he's already connected. He probably already has a bucket full of founders he wishes he could write a check into already. Yeah. Right. So here's your chance. We're doing this now to give you a chance to build a relationship with him today. So this is it's in the last 3 minutes. I want to ask you an interesting question. Do you have any general thoughts about things Black founders should be doing now to raise capital in this really challenging fundraising environment?
That's a great question. I guess there's two ways I'm thinking about it. It's I think part of it is just there's three ways. I'll try to be quick. Number one, put your head down, get to customers, right? Put your head down and get to customers and try to make money. Number two, try to always build relationships earlier than later, and really spend the extra time to find the right aligned investors, right? Go to visible.vc and look up these people, scrape LinkedIn, look at these people, try to find the right person, which is a double-edged sword because if someone's in your industry that really knows it, they're gonna really like go ham on you. But it cuts out time. And then on the third piece is alternative routes of fundraising. I was talking to someone that focuses on private credit, and just being able to do like, you know, more debt issuance than anything. Of course, it's like you got to pay it back, but at the same time, it's forcing you to make revenue, right? So you got to pay back, you know. So I think like, you know, I also don't think that. Thank you, Don. I think that you know, running a venture backable company isn't like you can't be broke doing this. You need to be sustainable in your own personal finances. Trust me, I ran a company when I was 24. It was not for the faint of heart. So just that's another like thing for Black founders is, yeah, we're already struggling, or we already have challenges on the, hey, I don't have a rich uncle auntie. But if you don't have savings to like do this, it's just you're putting extra burden on yourself. It's like,
yeah, well, just get a side hustle, right? Go drive
Yeah.
Uber or something. Just do whatever you need to do to get to where you need to go. And the thing I would like to add to that is I talked about this before, like go find some angel investors who are founders. And look, just go to my profile. You can probably find me pretty easily, but I'm James Oliver Jr. And look at my pinned post. I think I posted something about how to find founder angels. It's a tool, Grit, GRITT.io. It's a great tool to find founder angels in certain verticals. So go do that, right? And just connect with them. You know, understand how to move socially. I talked about that as well in some of my posts. Just go look at my stuff. Like I'm posting this stuff all the time. I'm actually going to be writing another book about how to help overlooked founders increase their social capital, because I feel like sometimes we just don't know how to move in these spaces. So I'll be writing my next book about that pretty soon. So, but we're at time. I appreciate you coming through, JT. You know, people are loving this, Amari. So y'all just go check them out. Go to fifthstarfunds.com, sign up for the newsletter, connect with him on LinkedIn. And when you send him a connection request, add a note. Hey, I saw you in the conversation with James just now.
Please,
99% of the time he's going to accept that. But if you just randomly send a note, maybe he's like me, I'm a LinkedIn snob. People be like, hey, I breathe air just like you. Let's connect. I'm like, nah. So
please send the note. That's yeah. I don't send LinkedIn requests without notes, so I expect the same thing.
Yeah, it increases your likelihood of getting acceptance. I think like 70 or 80%, something like that. I saw that recently. All right, so that's it, y'all. I appreciate you. We'll catch you next time. We're out of here later. Hang out for a second, JT. All right, see y'all later.
All right,
cheers.